You're now watching the Brooklyn Nets fan show. I'm your host Woods. This is my boy Jaden, and today on the show we're going to be discussing the upcoming series against the Bucks, and as well as our thoughts on the Celtics.
So as we know now, the Brooklyn Nets closed out the Celtics in a series that I've said before was not really a true test to see where we were at. Uh, Jason Tatum couldn't stay consistent, didn't have that much help. You know, it's a problem. Marcus Smart is hitting threes, and you're relying on him to get buckets when you need one. So now we're in a position where we're playing the Bucks. How it's gonna go? Right now, for me, it's honestly it's a toss up because, as I brought up before, we have no protecting in the paint at all. It honestly, it's an issue. And for Giannis, I'm sure he's thinking it's about to be a field day. So I'm thinking that this goes 7 games. I don't think that we're gonna get past his Bucks team easy. And Giannis, he's coming with help. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. He's coming with help. He's coming with players who can hit threes. They can stretch out the floor. They got Brook Lopez who can stretch out the floor and shoot threes as well. So I'm thinking that it's gonna be a tough one. But when you have three of the best scorers in the league, James, Kyrie, KD, then I think we'll always have a shot. But I think the first step in order to win this series would be to stop Giannis, whether that's through finding a way to not let him get to the basket or making him settle for jumpers. Then we're gonna have to find a way because it all starts with him. He's the brain of the operation. If you stop him, I feel like you're probably not gonna see anyone else really produce nothing. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I still think we take the series, but just know that I'm concerned because the paint is where Giannis eats the most, and we have nowhere protected to stop him. So that's how I'm feeling.
No, for sure. I mean, you kind of hit it on the head. That's definitely, I think, the biggest concern as far as the Bucks. But I honestly think the biggest concern outside obviously stopping Giannis, their best player. This is around the time that second, third round of playoffs. This is when you need that third or fourth guy off the bench that he may not get 20 every night, but he's good for that most important bucket or the most important 10 down the stretch. You know what I mean? Or the momentum shifter sometimes. And believe it or not, I'm just not sold on anyone on the Nets because the reality is it's anyone's night, any given night. There's no real consistency. So off their bench, I mean, like you've seen Blake. Blake is only averaging 7 shots. He's averaging seven shots in the series. You start looking at Alize, he hasn't touched the court. You start looking at I'm trying to think Tyler Johnson. He's played a lot of good minutes, but like none of these guys substantial enough where you could see potential takeover talent. Like not like how they had Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie. You know what I mean? Like Spencer Dinwiddie's obviously hurt. So I'm more concerned about them actually dishing off their responsibilities because obviously they're gonna Giannis and the boys are gonna find some way to key in on the big three. You know what I mean? It's you can't like you said stop them, but they could contain them. We're gonna need our fourth and fifth guy to step up and have a field day. You know what I mean? So I'm really concerned with our fourth and fifth options, believe it or not, because I think that's going to be the turning point of the series. Because
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we have all the offensive power in the world. We got ammunition on top of ammunition. But I think the difference between obviously the easy run against the Celtics in this series is that we're going against guards like Drew Holiday who can give you a run for your money, for a few games. He's gonna make it hard for you. He's a tough defensive guard. So, and like you said, it's gonna take an extra head, an extra person to put up. Not even asking for all-star numbers. It's gonna take an extra player to put up 10, to get a block or to dive on the floor and get a loose ball. It's gonna take that because Kyrie's gonna have a handful. He's gonna have a handful. James Harden's gonna have a handful with whoever's on them because they're gonna have bodies to be able to throw at
mhm.
all of them. So it's gonna be tough. But if they can get someone to come off the bench who can produce, then I think they put them in a definitely in a better situation. But Blake, I think it probably had to be Blake, honestly, because he's the only person that's been in a
Experience.
situation like this outside of the big three. You can't really rely on Joe Harris. Like, yeah, he shot the ball well against the Celtics, but this ain't no Celtics team. This is the second round in the playoffs. You ain't never been here before. Completely different game. I'm not saying that he's not gonna hit no shots, but I'm not expecting him to do what he did against the Celtics. So we're just gonna have to see, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be an interesting series, and I look forward to seeing who pulls it off.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is when I come in and just slide in some trash talk. First of all, Giannis is a scrub. That's a fact. Giannis is one of the most gassed, one of the most overrated players in the league. He is a steroid. No, I'm sorry. He is a Ben Simmons on steroids. I think Ben Simmons, again, is one of the biggest frauds. We'll run into Philly when we run into him. We got a lot to say to them. You know what I mean? But we got a lot to say to Giannis. I can't wait till he run into the big three. I'm going to be at the game. I'm at game one. We in the building. I'm at game one on Saturday. It's litty. It's litty. The Barclays is about to be on fire. I can't wait. Unfortunately, my boy Jaden couldn't make it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be in there. Hopefully we get some live game footage and stuff, and it's going to be nuts. It's going to be lit. And, hopefully if we run into the Giannis boys and, the Bucks, them fan media guys on Bucks, you guys are welcome on the show, man. Welcome on the show. Come up here, you know what I mean, and get smacked around. Get smacked around a little bit for 5-10 minutes if y'all want. It's time for our LinkedIn Business Fan Special. If you follow the Brooklyn Nets fan page on LinkedIn, you'll see our fan show in your feeds. Net fans provide comments or questions on the show, and let us know if you want to appear on the show as well. But on that, we look to hear from you guys again next week, man. Good to see you guys.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.